Most people believe that if they can just land a good job, everything else will fall into place. A stable salary, a nice house, a reliable car, family vacations, retirement savings. That's the dream millions of people work toward every day. Go to school, get good grades, find a respectable career, work hard, climb the ladder. For decades, this formula was sold as the ultimate path to financial security. And for a while, it worked. But today, something strange is happening. Millions of people are earning more money than previous generations ever imagined, yet they feel more financially stressed than ever. They have decent jobs, they have respectable incomes, some earn six figures, yet many are living paycheck to paycheck. One unexpected expense can throw their finances into chaos. One layoff can erase years of progress. One recession can completely change their future. From the outside, they appear successful. But beneath the surface, many are financially fragile. This is the middle-class illusion. The belief that a good salary automatically creates wealth. The belief that earning more means you're getting ahead. The belief that financial security comes from income alone. And for millions of people, that belief is proving dangerously wrong. Let's start with a simple question. What is wealth? Most people immediately think of income. Someone earning $150,000 a year must be wealthier than someone earning $60,000. Right? Not necessarily. Income and wealth are not the same thing. Income is money that comes in. Wealth is what remains after years of decisions. A person earning $60,000 who consistently saves and invests may be far wealthier than someone earning $150,000 who spends everything they make. Yet society constantly confuses these two concepts. We celebrate high earners. We admire expensive lifestyles. We assume larger paychecks equal financial success. But income is only part of the story. What matters more is what happens after the paycheck arrives, and that's where many middle-class families run into trouble. As income rises, spending often rises right alongside it. Many people assume buying a house is the ultimate sign of financial success. For generations, home ownership has been presented as the cornerstone of the middle-class dream. And in many cases, owning a home can be beneficial. But there's also an illusion surrounding homeownership that few people talk about. Many homeowners aren't truly wealthy, they're highly leveraged. There's a difference. A family may live in a beautiful house worth hundreds of thousands of dollars. Visitors see success. But behind the scenes, the family may owe most of that value to the bank. They have mortgage payments, property taxes, insurance costs, maintenance expenses, repair bills, unexpected emergencies. The house may look like an asset, but in many cases it behaves like a liability that continuously demands money. Again, this doesn't mean home ownership is bad. It means appearances don't always reveal financial reality. The middle-class illusion thrives on appearances. A nice home, a luxury SUV, designer furniture, expensive vacations, all of these things signal success. But they don't necessarily indicate wealth. In fact, many genuinely wealthy people live surprisingly ordinary lives. They understand a principle that many people overlook. Looking rich and being rich are completely different things. Looking rich costs money. Being rich requires keeping money. That's a critical distinction. Another reason the middle class often feels stuck is because most people rely on a single source of income, their paycheck. Think about that for a moment. A family's entire financial future often depends on one employer, one company, one position, one salary. If everything goes well, life feels stable. But what happens when things don't go well? A recession arrives. The company downsizes. Technology changes the industry. Health problems appear. Suddenly, the foundation that seemed solid begins to shake. This is why job security can sometimes be an illusion. No matter how stable a position feels, someone else ultimately controls that paycheck. And when your entire financial life depends on one source, you're exposed to significant risk. Many people don't discover this until it's too late. They spend years increasing their lifestyle without increasing their financial resilience. Then an unexpected event reveals how vulnerable they truly are. This is one reason economic downturns feel so devastating. People realize they were never as secure as they believed. The middle class often gets trapped in a difficult position. They're earning enough to appear comfortable, but not enough to stop worrying. They're too successful to qualify for assistance, yet often not wealthy enough to withstand major setbacks. They sit in the uncomfortable middle, working harder each year, earning more each year, yet somehow feeling stuck in the same place. And perhaps the biggest reason is that most people are focused on income rather than assets. The wealthy think differently. Instead of asking, "How much can I earn?" they ask, "How much can my assets earn?" This shift changes everything. When you work for money, your income depends on your time. You trade hours for dollars. There's nothing wrong with that. Most people start this way. But wealth begins to grow when assets start generating income independently. Investments, businesses, real estate, royalties, digital products, dividend-producing assets. These create income streams that don't require constant labor. This is one of the biggest differences between the wealthy and the middle class. The middle class often depends primarily on active income. The wealthy increasingly depend on passive or semi-passive income generated by assets. The goal isn't necessarily to stop working. The goal is to stop depending entirely on work. That's where financial freedom begins. Real wealth isn't measured by your salary. It's measured by how long you could maintain your lifestyle if your paycheck disappeared tomorrow. Think about that question honestly. If your primary source of income stopped today, how long would you be financially secure? A month? 3 months? A year? A decade? For many people, the answer is surprisingly uncomfortable. And that's exactly why building wealth matters. Because wealth creates options. Options create freedom. Freedom reduces fear. When you have assets producing income, you gain flexibility. You can take career risks, start businesses, change industries, spend more time with family, pursue opportunities that might otherwise seem impossible. You gain control over your future. That's something a salary alone can never fully provide. The truth is that the middle-class dream was never supposed to be about appearances. It was supposed to be about security. But somewhere along the way, many people started confusing consumption with success. They measured progress by what they could buy instead of what they could keep. And that's where the illusion begins. A bigger paycheck doesn't automatically create wealth. A bigger house doesn't automatically create wealth. A luxury car doesn't automatically create wealth. Even a prestigious career doesn't automatically create wealth. Wealth comes from the gap between what you earn and what you spend. It comes from consistently owning assets that grow over time. It comes from creating income streams that don't rely entirely on your labor. Most importantly, it comes from understanding that financial security isn't about looking successful. It's about being resilient. Because true wealth isn't visible. You can't always see it in someone's clothes. You can't always see it in their car. You can't always see it in their house. Often, true wealth is hidden. It's the investment portfolio nobody talks about. The business quietly generating cash flow. The assets steadily compounding year after year. The financial cushion that protects against uncertainty. The middle-class illusion tells people that a good salary is the finish line, but in reality, a good salary is only a tool. What matters is how that tool is used. Because earning more money may improve your lifestyle, but building wealth changes your future. And those are not the same thing. The people who understand that difference are the ones who eventually escape the illusion entirely.